What's happening, YouTube? Joey Balls Clutch Up Garage back again with the Road Glide. We got something I've been pumped up for like a little kid on Christmas. We got the 18-inch chrome wheel to match the front, a fresh Shinko tire. It is time to finally tear this rear wheel off, get it changed out, get a matching rear, and it's 2 inches bigger than the current one on it. So pretty excited about it. It's going to look pretty badass. I'm going to go ahead and get this tire thrown on here, get the rear wheel off this bike, get the pulley and the rotor off, get it all swapped over. Should be a pretty quick process. Cross your fingers. But yeah, pretty excited about it. Stay tuned. We'll see one of the last finishing touches for now on the Road Glide. All right, we got the old wheel, the parts off of it that we are going to need. Now it's time to wrestle this tire on. If you don't know how, I don't suggest it because it's not the most fun thing in the world to do. But if you know, you know. So we're going to go ahead and pop this tire on here. Hopefully it doesn't fight too much. And then we'll go ahead and start putting the important parts back onto this wheel, and that's kind of it. Pretty easy process. Hoping this tire fits in there to 150. Guys say I do. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and time lapse throwing this tire on this. So enjoy for your pleasure only. All right, super important tool alert. Although you shouldn't reuse your sprocket bolts, I'm not really going to be beating on this bike like I do my others. So I'm going to reuse the bolts. But you can see here, they got Loctite on. That one's not a good example. That one kind of is. Mainly it's these sprocket bolts. They got old Loctite on them. You don't want to drive those into a new wheel because you'll start marring the threads immediately. So what I do, this is a super cheap kit. It's a thread chaser kit. Comes with all your different thread chasers, including the ones that go down into the wheel. So that way you can clean that out of a wheel if you're going to reuse the wheel. But I just put it in my vise here. All right, nice and tight. And then just cycle the bolt through. Hear that? And that was all that gunk coming off those threads. Look how clean those threads are. So do this for every bolt, sprocket bolts, the rotor bolts, all of it. Any bolt that you take out of a Harley Davidson that's got Loctite on it, you need to do this on. It takes a little extra time, but it'll be worth it in the end. Because you don't want to have to tap anything or, God forbid, add a helicoil. Just like that, you got clean threads. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the sprocket bolts as well, and I might clean these up because they kind of look like shit. Clean those up with some Scotch-Brite, and yeah, we'll be right back. So I got all my hardware cleaned up, took a little extra time, did the washers. I'm not putting a ton of effort into it. Just want to make them look better. Like I said, it's always better to replace them. But guys, we're balling on a budget. Definitely balling on a budget here. This is all self-bought, self-financed. In a perfect world, I'd have been able to buy rotors with it all too, which eventually I will do the rotors because that does make it look pretty flossy. But for the time being, I couldn't afford all that with the wheel. So this was my Christmas present to myself. And like, see how the edge of this is all nasty? I'm going to take some Scotch-Brite and we'll clean that up too. We're going to start with the sprocket side. The 5/8 head bolt and red Loctite, friends. I preach Loctite. It's a very important part of owning and working on a Harley Davidson. Anything that will kill you if it falls off, red Loctite. Just a dab of that. Uh-oh. Got it lined up the wrong thing. Got it lined up with the holes and not the bolt. There we go. See how nice those thread in? Basically thread it all the way in by hand. That's because we clean those threads. Very important part. Up to 58 foot-pound. So we're going to go to 50 and see how that feels. There's 50. These are 7/16 bolts. Get them all evenly tight. And you always want to tighten in a star pattern. Here we go. 1 and 5. I'm going to bump it up one more time. 54, just to be safe. Same process, star pattern. All right, there's that side done. Now we'll move over to the rotor side. So I got the rotor bolts in there, 30 to 45 foot-pound on these. Go ahead and get them torqued to spec. And we'll be ready to throw this thing on already. I love it when a plan comes together. I almost forgot to mention I got new axle adjusters. Everybody knows on these they're kind of crap if you're trying to thrash it all. I believe these are from A1 Cycles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm really not sure. They're Curly's. These are Curly's. Curly's Inc. Adjusters, I'm going to pop them on while I pop everything else on too. And we're on, guys. Super pumped on the look. A little disappointed in the Curly's adjusters. They would not line up no matter what I did. I don't have my belt. And that's a wrap. Man, she looks good. 18-inch rear wheel, 21-inch front. Man, I dig it. No more faking it till you make it. Got matching wheels. It looks good. Nice looking ride for almost 20 years old. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. Tell your friends, man, like, sub, ring the bell. Check me out. I'm always building something.